Hi, and welcome to Albert's Voice Tech. We have now changed the name from Albert Tech Technologies. It's pretty much too long. Okay, so for the past week now, I've been using Quick CPU. You can right click, clean out the memory, set the PC to maximum performance, balances battery, and minimum performance. But see, I'm on a desktop. I would basically use this. I wouldn't bother to use balance. Wouldn't be necessary. We're not running batteries. On a laptop, I can see that's functional. Now, I've taken some steps. I want to show you. Let's see. Now, if I load it, because I'm running a screen capture, and as we know, with screen capture, we're not gonna show what I'm really getting. So we're going to. I have a folder. You won't see it on this machine because we have a 46-inch LCD um, all-in-one TV panel. Everything's on it. Okay, it's also um, 60 frames per second panel. Hey, listen, it's actually one of their best TVs. I know it's a couple. It's well now it's a 12-year-old, but it still works. But that's not the point. Right now, let me go into my SSD drive. I'm gonna go into one of my folders, and I'm gonna show you. Okay, what you see on the screen here is with the screen capture running. Strange. Here it is without the screen capture running. So you can see that it's 7.1%. It's high performance plugged in. So it's a big difference. Now people are saying, well, does this work? Yeah, it works. I really don't want to move the screen in the background, so I'll just do it like this. Okay, so you can clearly see the difference. I know a lot of you don't want me to take a camera and aim it on the screen. You rather see it on the screen. But like I said, there's some drawbacks doing so, and well, so that's pretty much it. That's a lot of information. The person who wrote this really was really dedicated into all this because a lot of us in the past, when Microsoft DOS, MS DOS, you know, you know, the memory limit was 640. There was an upper memory limit you could go up to 700. A lot of us was really into that. A lot of us on what doesn't exist anymore is Prodigy. We'll talk about it. Okay, so this has four logical cores. Well, in theory. So each one, the first core 25%, 25.37%, second core 24.9%, third core 24%, and the fourth core is for 24%. And this is how this is one of the AMD's APU accelerated PU processor unit. I mean, they replaced it with the Ryzen processor. I have no problem. Before this, I had the 64-bit phenomenon, I guess you pronounce it. I had those. Those are alright. Those use the Southbridge motherboard. I mean Southbridge system. They were good for the time. It's funny. Those old um, those old systems could run 4K, but even though it could run it, it couldn't handle it. It could run 4K for a little bit. Even if you max out the 2.5 gigahertz Black Edition processor. I had a couple of those. I got them dirt cheap. Yeah. Too bad the system doesn't. I mean, it lasted over 10 years. I mean, can't really expect it to keep going. But download this program, run it, see what's running in the background. And how do you find out what's running in the background? Well, get your hands on WiseCare 365. I'm not promoting the program. I'm just telling you. I used to help them with the program. Yeah, I used to beta test with them and give them pointers because there was another program called, oh, good Lord. I can't remember the name. I don't use it anymore. I wouldn't recommend it because it's not, let me see, scan. See, you pick up privacy illustrations. History, clean that. This is what you want to run. This will come up automatically and tell you to optimize. What happens with Windows, I can't remember what. I think it's boost display speed of arrow peak. Increase icon cache for desktop optimized. That's another too. If you see white icons, it's a cache. But you want to be careful not to play around with that too. I wrote scripts. Scripts are little either a batch file or a com file or an exec file. You run that and that will fix up a lot of problems with Windows with networking. Because like say a laptop cannot find your, say you had a network attached storage device. It can't find it. Yeah, because the WinSocket's all screwed up. One way of fixing that problem is to go into your NIC card or wireless network settings and only delete the object. Do not delete the file, and reboot the system and let Windows rebuild that driver back into the system. Usually fixes the problem. If it doesn't fix the problem, then you really have to go further than that. It's a shame, but that's the defect in Windows 7 and Server have the same problem. It's the same thing. I mean, they really need to fix those things, and those are the little glitches. They all have problems. Linux, the Apple, don't let them fool you. They all have issues. And Android. Android and Linux. Same thing. You know, Chrome OS, I mean, they're not perfect, but they're getting there. Now, this has SSD optimization. Disable hibernation, disable defrag, disable auto defrag, disable fetch, disable trim function, improve working performance SSD. So they got pretty much everything here. They got network speed up, LAN connection, DNS name, domain name system, optimize Ethernet card for performance, optimize network forwarding, automatically detect black holes path. This is what WiseCare, this is in here. So it has network performance increase, SSD optimization, system speed up, system stability, and stuff. The thing is, it's the startup manager. What is starting up on its own? Every time you load programs, they attach themselves. Now, I have AMD field servers, AMD. Some features need to run. I got a Canon thing on the network too. I have to leave it. The Bonjour servers, should that run? No, I don't use it all the time. That doesn't need to run. So you see what I did? I just clicked on that. Some things like that. Relieve this on the quick CPU. gaming services. I don't need that either. Click on that. Optimize. Don't need it. Don't need it. Look and see what you don't need. If you don't see, this is JetBoost auto update. I don't know. JetBoost should not be in the system still neither. Facebook Messenger. Why is that there? I don't want that to launch. You gotta know what's trying to launch. Smart Game Booster update. No longer being used. Yeah. Only what you need, that should boot. Because it takes seconds off your machine from booting. Registry defrag and won't run it with screen caption. What it'll do, it'll compress the registry if it needs to be done. It said I haven't done it since 1023, and you will notice a change in the way the system performs. Okay, so another freebie. We really don't need it anymore because we have Quick CPU has the same features. 4 items can be optimized. Well, unfortunately, I can't do that. You know, and these are the items it determines that can be optimized. But I'm not going to touch it because the other program already did it. That's what it's detecting. Okay, so that's pretty much it when it comes to the system. You have SSD, you don't defrag the drives. Remember, you try to defrag it, you're gonna mess. Remember, it's memory, it's not mechanical, so there's no defragging. Okay, and that's the way. And the NIC card, let's see. If your network is like this, if you got a network where everything's set to automatic, so the router is auto speed, the NIC card on your computer is auto speed, everything is auto negotiation, so it automatically will negotiate the proper speed. Okay, if you got a router that you can change the network speed from 100 to 1000 full duplex, you can change it in the router too. You can change it manually and set it to full, so you can force the systems in the house to run at 100. So your download speed from your internet is now 1000. You're paying for 1000 or higher. You can change the setting in your router to match what you got coming from, for instance. Okay, so your router, you got your modem. Some people have everything in one. You have your modem and your router all working at the same. Now, most of you are paying through your cell phone provider, your CSP or your ISP. That means Internet Service Provider. CSP is Cell Phone Service Provider. Okay, here we are. ISP, Internet Service Provider. They might have gave you a router. If they don't give you control over that router, you can't really do much, and everything's automatic. So you're kind of dumb. Now, well, you're not dumb, but it's just the way it is. That's the way it's set up. So you got like a system that's already controlled by them. Now, like me, I don't have their system. I bought my own compatible modem. I did a video on it. But again, it's set up to run and match their system. So I'm paying for 1.2 down and 50 up. Okay, so I'm get at it now with legacy and everything with the networking. 1.2 is equivalent to like 700, but my router can only handle uh, 1 gig, so which is really 600 megabytes. Now you see, well, that's the way they have it set up. Same thing. If you had 10 gigabytes in a network, it can only do 7 gig. That's the way it is. You're not gonna get full speed ahead. You're not gonna get the full 10. That's the way they have it set up. The same thing with 10. 10 used to been 6. I'm sorry. I mean, yeah. 10 was 6. 100 megabytes was really 60, and 1,000 is 600, which is a gig. So that's the way it's set up. That's what I'm getting now. That's good enough because that's the performance. Because if I would go down to 300 megabytes per second, it's gonna, download speeds. We're not gonna get 300. It's gonna vary. Again, it depends what you have. Now, those of you who are on fiber from AT&T. Now, AT&T used to have a proprietary system that kind of simulate fiber, and a lot of you are still on that system. You should see if you can get beefed up and put up on the newer system, which is true fiber. Using the I think it's called the OPT. It's supposed to be crap. I can't even think of the name in my head. I used to support fiber through a company called Frontier Communications, and I help a lot. And they use Verizon. Verizon was the first one that came out with that. I think it's the OPNT. I know a lot of you not on. Hopefully, a lot of you not on DSL still. Let's see. Okay, let me get out of this. I want to go to my Oh, by the way, this is the I changed the name. We went from Operative Technologist to our Albert Voice Tech. I didn't mention that in the beginning. I still have some changes. We have a new look and everything. We don't need that to run. A lot of you seem to be very interested in the CPU testing. I tested it between 2 laptops I have. Fortunately, the final test did not show up, and that happens all the time. Right? I ran out of space on the recording, and so it'll split the file. I cleaned it up, so I shouldn't do that again. I will run that test separate again, but sometimes things happen beyond my control. What I wanted to show you was the difference between the two Celerons, how they perform, almost neck and neck. But I'm gonna let you know that the one from the Gateway from Walmart beat it, the Acer laptop. It's amazing. Well, then again, the Gateway from Acer is 1.70. That's 1.7 gigahertz. So it's 1 gigahertz plus 7.0. 1 gigahertz, 170 gigahertz. Okay, whereas the Gateway from Walmart can go up to almost 2.70. So it's like 1 gigahertz more. You see. Okay, but the Gateway from Target is what I was using. Target, I used to sell these. That one has a better catchy system, but I see Intel got rid of that. Listen, they cut corners, They make changes in the way system and the processors are, but it's good to compare. How does this one do? Well, I'd have to run the test without the and start another review. What I could do is I'll run a test on all of them, and then create a video, and the video will just show the test. And I'll just, like I do other videos, I'll show the test, and then I'll talk about it in the video. I'll do that. So at least you get to see how they perform. Because right now I have two full size desktops. I have approximately, let's see, we have the Chromebook. You can run the test on the Chromebook, by the way, because it's JavaScript and you can run on that. Okay, but I don't have quick CPU for the Chrome OS. So I have about, let's see, we have the Chrome OS, we have that, the old one. So we have about 4 laptops. We also have a netbook running an Atom dual core processor. But remember, that's only 2 gig of RAM, so I don't even know if she didn't play around with that. But that still works, though. By the way, you know, it's gonna run a little slower and overheats. See, they're all overheat. The Chromebook doesn't overheat. The Chromebook and the Gateway are supposed to be compatible. They're supposed to be like identical. But one is made by Acer and the other one is made by Taiwanese. I like to run tests on them to show you the differences and stuff like that. I'm gonna be doing more stuff too because in this house here I have TRS-80 from Radio Shack, a Tandy computer, one of the first ones. It still works. Original monitor and everything. I still have it. I have the whole system for that with the voice synthesizer because I was into that. I paid a lot of money. I had to be specially ordered and specially made. And it still works. Everything works. I also had the Coleco Atom systems, the module system and the full computer system. Then I also have a Magnavox made by Philips Electronics. It's called MacStation. I forget which one it is, but it's a 386 processor. The processor I think is made in Japan. It's not an Intel processor. So we got that system too. Yeah, those I still have. They still work. So I can show. I know some people show up old systems. You know. Yeah, but I won't. Well, I can't put on a network or anything because it wasn't. I don't have anything like to run it on a network. But you know, it'll still work. You know, we have old ColecoVision game system. I have the cards. I have the turbo, everything for that. You know. Hey, but like I said, those are future videos. If anybody's interested, I mean, I could run stuff like that and show you old tech because they do work. Right now, this is the main computer right in here. We have another APU 4 dual core. That's a 2.9. That could be overclocked to 3.2. Yeah, I think no 3.4 like this one. But you know, that's only the GPU on that one is 4 cores. Like this one is 6 core. Well, 6. But anyway, this is the new look for the channel. I hope you like it. Because I have a coaching channel too. It's based like that too. Trying to bring it up to date. We got a couple of channels to run, but right here, this is the channel that I talk about um, the computers, the electronics, things like that, the sound cards, the sound bars, the audio equipment, the studio equipment that I use. You know, everything that's related to this will be in here. Now, solar power and everything like that is on the Albert's Voice Solar, you know, channel 2, which is you just scroll down and it's down here. That's this one. I'll have to update it. I haven't updated yet, but I'll bring it up to speed because I built a solar generator. I have solar panels on my window. You passed my house, you couldn't tell I had panels in my window. I have a panel in my SUV. I mean, I keep my battery fully charged. You know, it's a lot to get into, but yeah. I like to do more with it. I like to put a panel on top of the SUV. I don't want to mount it to the SUV. I want to get a roof rack, and make it sleek and make it mount there. I mean, I could do it, but I haven't got the chance to do it. And what I do with that would have a separate battery system, you know, and I could run things off. So, like, for instance, you know, you're camping, you know, you don't want to use the car's battery, right? You want to use another battery source that you have charged that keeps continuously charging from the solar. So that's how you would run that. Right now, I could turn off my battery. Well, I mean, I can turn off my engine off to burn gasoline and run my accessories, my music, because this, as long as there's solar coming in, it'll charge the battery, you know. Yeah, so we have that system in there. So those are the benefits. People think I'll have a hybrid, but no, it's not a hybrid. But for some reason, the fuel injection. Well, I'm going to tell you something. If you keep the battery fully charged, then the alternator don't have to work so much. If the alternator doesn't have to work so much, you don't burn so much gas. So that's the advantages. So the solar is hitting the panel in the front. It's a big panel. It's the same size as the RV. So we got that panel charging the battery, keeping the battery fully charged. I'm driving the car. I step on acceleration. I can feel the difference. I have more acceleration power. People can say, no, 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 you're making it up. No, I'm not making it up. And I don't burn as much gas either. Yeah. Since I've been using it, I haven't noticed I haven't burned a lot. I used to burn a lot of gas, but I don't burn as much anymore. So it is paying off. People don't believe, but I don't care. I just know what I see the results. And you don't have to say I need a boost. I don't need a boost anymore from my neighbor, because the solar, and there's a multi controller, solar jet controller controls everything. So it takes the sun power from the panel, converts the power to 12 volts, and it sends it to the battery and keeps the battery. And you have to use an AGM battery because they can take more, they're more compatible. But anyway, that's enough of that. But hey, thanks for watching. Do subscribe. Oh wow, this is cranked up since I changed the name. Alright, well, I know you guys like to know how to speed up Windows, especially Windows 11. If you're on Windows 10, it's time to migrate. Why? Because 10 has a lot of issues, and you all know they has issues. Like, it doesn't recognize half the stuff that's in there. I used to have a lot of problems with networking with Windows 10, and I don't have them really have to run the scripts anymore. Microsoft has fixed a lot of problems. I'm on the inside of the program, so I can tell them, hey, they need to fix stuff. They need to fix stuff with OneNote. I know it says Windows 10. They need to fix that. That's there's a little glitchy on that. And Chrome OS. And you can run more than one browser on your computer, by the way. And why would you run more than one browser? Because you can have more than one account, and then you can spread out everything. That's But, okay. And I know I'm not supposed to talk about how to install Windows on non-compliance machines, so I won't talk about that and how I do it. I can't really talk about that. I don't want to get in trouble, so I'm not going to talk about that. But it can be done. But it's Microsoft doesn't want you to know, so you have to stick by the rules. So good luck on that. That's why on my channel you're never really gonna find out how it's done. We're not gonna. I'm not gonna get into that. It's a shame. Before you be able to talk about certain things, but I guess they don't want you to talk about it. So right now, my focus is on Windows 11 and how to speed it up and quick CPU. You download it, run it, you know, and you'll learn more about your PC and learn more about your processor. But like I said, set the clean memory function on, and you should be all right. But check this out. If something's running and you know there's something running, see, I know it could be malware, it could be a virus. You really need to check out. And you need to get another way of saving files. Either get a NAS or spend money on cloud technology, whatever you want to do. Whatever, NAS is a network attached storage device. I mean, you can build one yourself with the what's that thing called again? Yeah, is it the little card thing? Oh, I forgot the name. But you can make your own if you want to, or just buy ready made. All you do is put the drives in there, and that's it. And you can run your separate server in your house, and you store all your files to that server. And if anything happens to your computers that get infected or hijacked or whatever you want to call it, you can blow out the drive, reinstall Windows 11, and start all over again. But this way, everything, if everything right now, your browser information, your file information, everything gets restored back. You don't have to sit there and try to clean out, remove virus, trying to get the system back to where it is. It takes too much time. Businesses don't even go through all of that. They just blow out the drive and start all over again. They're not going to sit there and try to, well, I'm going to try to restore all the files. They have the files backed up on the server. You know, the main important, your cookies, your documents, and everything. That's why they store. Why do you think they store everything on the server? They don't store it on an individual computer. Now, I did a project, and on that project they use Lenovo mini mini PCs. Let me see if I can I don't want to go to Amazon. I want to go to they don't make this one anymore. Product is discontinued. These prices are outrageous. I mean, you can get a used one for like $100. Um, um, this is the old one. They have a whole bunch of these, so these have been replaced. Up to 16 gig of RAM. If it comes to 6, so most of them come with 8 gig of RAM, but you can upgrade it to 16 gig. Most of this RAM is cheap now. Well, if you storage is 512 SSD. To be honest with you, the SSD 512, 482, 256. If you have a NAS storage device, 4 terabytes or higher, um, that's all you really need. You store everything on there. You have your whole library, everything. All your computers should be hooked up to that NAS, just like a business, would have it. The same thing with the network printer, network. All your PCs can access. Just put the drivers on your computer. That's what it's the same way the business enterprise system is worked at a business. You know, you brought up with Windows 10 Pro. Because Pro is better. You can run to Pro now. So this is AMD Ryzen 5 Pro 3.0 gigahertz up to 4 gigahertz max boost. So basically it's 3.30. But with quick CPU it boosts it up to 4. So 4 gigahertz. Yeah, this is what they have. I had my hands on one of these. This is what they took. I don't know what they're gonna do with it. It'd be funny if they just throw it away. I don't think so. I think they'll wipe it and try to sell it. Usually a surplus company comes in and buys all this stuff. Before they used to throw computers away, but they got smart. See, but this doesn't have a lot of connections. This is on a DPI. Sorry, not DPI. DP digital port. You hook up to a digital port monitor instead of using HMI. HMI is more for TV. I mean, you can use HMI. So right here, you can hook up 2 monitors. Some monitors have Type C or Type 3.0. It depends what you have. Try to stay away from legacy VGA that's been phased out, or DPI or DVI digital video input. Those are being kind of phased out. Also, it had the optional Wi-Fi antenna on top. We put some 2020 models in, but like I said, they're not using brand new ones because the new ones are very expensive. But like I said, webcam is pretty cheap. But really, nobody's using it. You can get this $25 is pretty cheap. Wow. Hmm. FFD, that's a 1080p, 4K. Remember, 4K video cam is gonna need. It's gonna webcam is gonna need a good processor and a lot of RAM. And I know a lot of people they don't like these because, well, it does have the TMP in there, so you can run Windows 11 on there. Remember, know what you're getting. No video on this. Let me see. Oh, see, that's the problem with this. Remember, this is a tiny little unit. they might make a noise, like, but they use less power. Some people said, I have a guy I was working with. He said you better buying a laptop, but with the laptop, this I could stick this in the kitchen, or I can put it out in the patio. You know, I can hide it. I could put it in places like that. That's what it would come in handy. But a lot of businesses are using this. Before it would be a Wise, like a Dell Wise box. But well, those are this way. This is hooked up in a business today. Is nothing saved. All your information is saved. It may be login information, but it's all done on the server through profile system through what's it called again? Advanced. Oh, God, I can't remember the names again. It's been a long time. I used to set up profiles in the Active Directory. Yeah. If you know Active Directory, you can get good money, by the way. But like that. All right. You guys know what to do. Okay? That's it. You learned something. When you run this, don't forget to set up the memory. Oh yeah. Like I have 24 gigs installed. I had 32, but only 26 can be maxed out to, so it can be committed to. I have to change out. The stick is bad. I mean, I can put the stick in there, but it's gonna run bad. Something's wrong with the stick. So you want to run this auto memory clean. By default, it's not turned on, and that's what I was wondering if Microsoft has that feature turned off on purpose. Because the RAM needs to be cleaned. I don't care what anybody says. When you load programs, so some programs are, if the application wasn't written properly, it'll leave a part of it will be stuck in memory. It don't clean itself out of memory. I mean, despite a lot of people when they say you still have to clean your RAM. Okay. All right, that's it. Says, hey, thanks again for watching. I hope you learned something. Any questions? Feel free to ask, and more to come. I'll run a test on all the systems and post the results. I don't have anything newer in processors, but hopefully one day, I'll have. But right now, everything's working. I mean, most processors, I know there's 8-core. My phone is 8-core. And I pretty much do a lot of 4K stuff on it. But that's about it. Until things have changed, because we're not 64-bit CPU. I know there's 128 maybe, or 256 bus for GPUs. Maybe you're going to go 512. There's not much talk about it, and then software would have to take advantage of that too. But I know 4K, everything's moving to 4K. We have 8K out now and some 16K. So things are getting there. But anyway, thanks again for watching. Do subscribe to the channel. Okay, that's about it. Let's see if I can turn this off. Click and